Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I'm going to entitle this video, "This is the reason why this guitar is going back." I was on eBay looking for a Dolphin Blue or Sonic Blue. Same color, just different. They just changed the name. Guitar, because I got a bass. I love it. So I said, I'm going to give me a Strat copy or a Strat copy. So I was in the process of buying it. Well, actually, there was one posting, and I was going to put a bid on it. And before I even could have put a bid on it, the guy removed it. And I contacted him and said, "Hey, what happened to the guitar I was going to buy?" He said that someone bought it offline. So, the moral Lester is when you see it, just put a bid on it. Because, usually you wait till it's almost over to put the bid on. But in order to keep it up there, because the seller has every right to remove it if no one hadn't already bid on it. He can remove it if somebody else bought it offline. But once somebody puts a bid on it, it's locked in, and he can't make any adjustments and remove it or cancel it. So that's a lesson learned, because I said I spent 3 weeks looking for this guitar, and I finally found one that I like. I'm like, okay, I can do this. So that was that story. But this story is I seen a Les Paul Epiphone copy blue, and I was like, okay, that's cool, because I don't have a Les Paul in my setup at home, So I purchased the guitar, and it came today. And once you see why it's going back. Now you can see why it's going back. Because it's a kid-sized guitar. There was no mention in the description. And I've been playing guitar for, 30 plus years, and I've played thousands of them. There was no mention that this was a little toy-ass guitar. No mention. He could have put it up against a regular sized guitar to distinguish the two, to make sure that nobody is confused here. But this was done deliberate. It's a lot of deceit going on eBay and Reverb. Not Guitar Center, because Guitar Center is pretty reputable and always have been. Sometimes you get stuff that they didn't thoroughly check, but once you contact them and say, "I got to send this back," they don't give you a hassle. So this was done deliberate. There was absolutely no mention of the size. This is a miniature size guitar, nothing. And I'm like, I'm really getting tired of this, because I had one guy had the nerve to say this. And before I say what he said, I'm gonna say this. What you come to find out, you can get 100 people in a room and something that's easy for everybody to agree upon. And let's just use this as an example. Would you deliberately hurt a child? Of course not. I think most of us are in line with, you don't want to hurt anybody, let alone a child. But you might find one guy in that room that has an opposing opinion. And I just use that as extreme example, because by no means don't hurt kids, period, anyway. But I just use that example as an extreme example to say, well, yeah, nobody would agree to this. You'd be like, no, you don't want to hurt anybody, especially a child. But you'll find one person in that room that would have a different opposing opinion. Regardless, and the point is, regardless of whatever that's on the table as far as agreeing on or disagreeing, you're going to always find one person. And I had one guy who I had to block, when I do my observations, or you just, you just complaining and you're being negative. How am I being negative? I simply want what I paid for. Is that asking too much? I don't think so. And 99% of you guys will say, no, I don't think so neither, Morris Man. But again, you're going to always find one guy that wants to be the opposing opinion on something that should be unanimous, And just like with this today, I'm not complaining, but I'm not happy. I mean, I paid for a full-size guitar. I didn't pay miniature price. And I got a miniature guitar. And again, this was done deliberately. He could easily put mini guitar in there, or put a guitar regular size right next to that one. And you could see the difference. But there's absolutely no description indicating that this was a small guitar. So I'm on my way back to the post office after I do this posting here and ship this back off. You get tired of this. I mean, you really get tired of this. This was done again deliberate. This was no accidents. This was not an oversight. You got a small size, kid size guitar, and didn't bother to mention that in the description at all. It wasn't in the header. Should have been in the header. Wasn't in the description. Wasn't in the description. The price didn't tip me off. Because I paid a good little penny for this. I mean, it's pretty. And if I had a son, I'd give it to him. But this is a toy. It's a toy. And that's why I do these observations, because, for people that probably not understanding or realizing that they're getting scammed, it's like you got scammed, and this is the recourse you take to try to rectify the problem. Because it's just Morrisman post these videos, he complain on. I'm not complaining at all. I'm not setting people to a higher standard, just that the norm standard. Okay, this is what you say you got. Okay, we're in agreement to that. I'll pay for it, and that should be the end of it. Instead of somewhere before the end of this transaction, the bottom falls out. Like the other day that I posted one of my observation videos when I went on Mercurial, person was selling a guitar. I bought the guitar. Now they're supposed to ship it. They tell me they're going to ship it Friday. Now, man, you already paid for the guitar, and they asked me this. You still want this guitar? Why would you ask me that? I've already paid for the guitar. I'm waiting for you to ship it, box it up and ship it. So then I was tipped off to say something's going to go wrong here now, because they already said something that just didn't make any sense. No logic behind it. So then the very next day, when they supposed they had shipped it to from UPS, I get an email from Mercurial. Seller canceled the order. Couldn't find a box. Like, you didn't know you had to have a box before you posted the guitar. You're going to ship it out, so why don't you have a box? And that's not a major problem. You go to the grocery store on any given day and ask them, you got a big box? And they'd be more than happy to give you boxes. I used to work for a grocery food store chain for 13 years. We used to love giving the boxes away. And people, when they move, they come and ask for egg boxes, and we put them to the side for them, and they come get them. So that person could easily went and got a box, made a box, because I've done that before. I had to make it. I didn't have a box, and I knew that before I posted it. But I'm like, I'm going to create a box, so that's not going to be a problem, and then just create a box and ship it. But they just decided they didn't want to sell it. So I'm like, by no means I'm complaining, and my concerns are legitimate. I'm not making a big fuss out of something that's extremely minute. I'm not. This is a big deal that you're not going to ship my guitar now, and I have to speak on that, and that's all I'm doing. Because like I said, it's interesting when you find people, everybody agreeing on this, and it's always going to be one dude. And I'm going to say this and then sign off. There are a lot of theories behind why people like that do that. And one of them is real obvious. They want attention. You can't get attention in a big group, but you can get attention, and it ain't exactly net positive attention. And that's how dumb these people are, that you by yourself on standing on this. This is your thoughts on this, And then you just got some people, they're evil people. They're evil people. They just evil people. But, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's a nice little guitar. And actually, I believe it has a regular size neck. It's just got this little thin pancake of a size body. I'm even surprised the Epiphone. Well, this was, I'm sure, marketed for a child. And for a child, this is really nice. I mean, it is really nice, but not for a grown man and a professional player. This is a joke. Yeah, this is a joke, Because when the UPS guy, brought the package, I'm like, the box kind of small. I'm like, how could a standard size guitar fit in this box? And then when I opened it up, it was a box inside a box. And then I knew, I'm like, this is a tiny toy guitar. This is a tiny toy guitar. It's ridiculous, And like I said, you just get tired of this. You just get tired of this, recently. Well, I say throughout a period of time, but even more recent, it's more frequent now. Because I'm going to share this story with you guys, and then I'm going to sign off. Now I'm going to wait till that deal has been finalized, and then I'll go into that story. because technically it hasn't been finalized. It's in the process of getting finalized. So I want to share that story with you guys when it has been finalized. And that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to sign off now. But I was really anticipating this guitar. I'm like, last time, like, I can't wait to start playing this thing. I love the color. It get here, it's a toy. And it's going out back out today. On that note, I'm going to sign off until next time. Take care and thanks for watching.